Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today is Sunday, October 12th. I am officially 11 weeks pregnant with baby girl who is due May 3rd, and it is crazy to think that I have only 3 weeks left of my first trimester. In some ways it's going by so fast, and then in other ways it's going by so slow, and I have just been jumping on here weekly to document my pregnancy, my symptoms, what's upcoming for the following week, and then also what I'm doing to prepare for baby. So this past week, I have had a pretty chill week, honestly. It was the first week I have not had an ultrasound, and it was interesting kind of going through that. I've been really busy with work and some family stuff, so I have had a lot of distractions, but going this first week and a half now without seeing baby girl has been weird, and I'm so looking forward to my scan this Wednesday morning with maternal fetal medicine, just to see baby girl, monitor the subchorionic hematoma that I've had, and just make sure everything is still tracking. And then I see my OB for the first time next week on the 24th. So things are progressing really, really well. I will say this past week, my symptoms have been very mild, as they have been throughout my pregnancy for the most part. I still have not gotten sick once. I don't really have any crazy food aversions. I can eat eggs again. That was the first food aversion that I had, and I am happy to say I can eat eggs again, which is great, because I'm not getting in a ton of protein, just because I used to do a lot of grilled chicken, and that's just kind of not doing it for me. I tend to lean more towards red meat right now, which I know is, I need to have some white lean meat as well, but I'm just trying to get through the first trimester right now and fuel my body with what it is craving. The nausea is there, and it's really more prevalent in the morning. I know some people have morning sickness all day long. Mine is definitely really starting around 9 a.m. to about 10:30. And then once I get through lunch, I'm usually okay. And it's usually cured by some crackers or a snack. I just need to keep eating. The foods that I'm craving the most are carbs, cheeses, nuts, and red meat. Pasta sauce as well, like give me all the red sauce, which is not great for the heartburn that's also coming. I do notice I have a lot more heartburn at night, and I am a lot more gassy at night. Burping, things like that as I'm trying to fall asleep. So I am taking quite a bit of Tums to get me through. But other than that, it's been pretty mild. I've talked to a couple other girlfriends that are pregnant right now, and everyone's throwing up like crazy, and they can't eat half the foods that they want to eat. And I honestly haven't had any of that. So I do feel blessed in that way, but also having minimal symptoms does give me a little bit more anxiety. Like, is everything okay? Because I feel like I should have more symptoms than I do. But I know every pregnancy is different, so I just keep trying to tell myself that. Now, I will say the bloating is getting real. I've officially given up on buttons. I feel like I look pretty normal, a little bit bloated in the morning, but in the afternoon and evening, I feel like I have a full-blown baby bump. So it's crazy. I texted a girlfriend last night. I'm like, I'm 11 weeks pregnant. I should not look this pregnant already. But then this morning I take my bump picture, and I actually think I look smaller than I looked last week. So I don't know. It's definitely just bloating, and but makes me feel good that baby girl is growing. And that's kind of been my one positive symptom that I've had that kind of keeps me going. Like, yeah, you're not throwing up. You don't have any food aversions. You don't have any crazy sensitivities to smell, but your bump is definitely starting to grow. And so little girl is growing in there. What I typically am eating in a day right now, this morning I had oatmeal. I've been doing some plain oatmeal with some stevia and some cinnamon, apples, a little bit of vanilla protein powder, and some flax seeds. And that's been my breakfast. I've been really trying to meal prep as much as I can. Had a Caesar salad yesterday for lunch. Macaroni and cheese, occasionally, like I said, pasta. I am craving a lot of pizza, pasta, and red meat. But I have chicken noodle soup that I'm going to bring for work today. Another snack I really have been loving is some plain yogurt with some granola and some berries and chia seeds. So I'm really trying to eat some nutritious snacks throughout the day as I can, as well as like cheese and crackers, just to kind of settle the stomach. But overall, I feel like I've been doing pretty well. with eating healthy. Obviously, I have those cravings that kick in every now and then, and I order half the menu from my favorite Italian restaurant, or I go out and get a cheeseburger and fries. But I have only gained 2 pounds so far in the last couple of weeks, so I feel pretty good about that. And I know most of the weight gain is going to come in the second and third trimester, but I stepped on the scale this morning and I'm only up 2 pounds from where I started before the transfer with all of the hormones too. I think a lot of that could just be water weight as well, the increased blood volume, the water, the bloating. So I don't necessarily think that it's just like fat. So I feel really good about the fact that I've only put on about 2 pounds. Some of my goals for this pregnancy were to stay as healthy as I possibly can and to stay as fit as I can. I want to stay active throughout the pregnancy. I think that will really help with delivery at the end of the day, but also help with the postpartum recovery. So staying active throughout my pregnancy has been something that's been super important to me. I haven't been able to work out a lot due to pelvic rest from the subchorionic bleed, but this week I did start working out a little bit more. I've been going for a 2-mile walk, not a fast pace, but not a slow pace either. I've been going for a 2-mile walk every day. This past week, I started lifting some upper body again. Again, a little bit lighter than I was lifting prior to the subchorionic bleed, but ultimately feels really good to move my body. Yesterday, I set foot in a gym for the first time in weeks, and I had a nice back workout and I walked 2 miles on the treadmill. This morning I did some prenatal yoga. So really just trying to move my body every day. And then again, just trying to eat as healthy as I can. Every woman in my family has had gestational diabetes, and now they're either diabetic or pre-diabetic. So really trying to monitor what I'm eating as best I can while also fulfilling some of those cravings and just taking care of myself and letting my body kind of do what it needs to do in this time period, especially in the first trimester when you are fighting a little bit more of the nausea and things like that. So that's kind of where I've been at over the last week. Started working out more, very anxious to see baby girl. Like I said, I go for my next ultrasound this upcoming Wednesday on the 15th. And that's with maternal fetal medicine. I just didn't want to go 3 weeks from graduating from my fertility clinic to seeing my OB, given all of the drama that happened week 7, 8. So I was happy that they were able to get me in for a quick scan. If everything looks great, then there will be no reason for my OB to do a scan next week when I go see them, even though I would love them to. So we're just going to wait and see what happens with that. A couple other things I'm doing this week. I will pay my deposit for my doula once I get through this ultrasound and make sure everything is okay. And then I will also be finalizing some details for the nursery and kind of making some plans for that. So that is what I have upcoming this week. I think the next few weeks are going to be really exciting and some big milestones. I think this week's ultrasound is a big milestone. It's my first ultrasound outside of my fertility clinic. It's been a few weeks. I've stopped my meds, so I'm no longer taking the progesterone or the estrogen injections. That has been glorious this week. My butt is no longer bruised. I don't have any more lumps, so that feels great. And then also, seeing my OB for the first time. Next week, I feel like is a big milestone. I'm hoping to hear the baby's heartbeat either this week or next week. I have not heard that yet. And then obviously getting out of the first trimester in 3 weeks. So lots to look forward to, big milestones ahead. I am very excited for this upcoming week, and I will keep you all posted. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.